What's good, YouTube? Once again, it's the one and only OG Hollywood coming at you with another edition of the one and only Ferguson Chronicles, where we bring it live from the day room to the living room to the streets. In this case, we're taking it to Galveston, Texas. Today in studio, I have an individual by the name of Mr. Figueroa, aka Pookie. Pookie did time with me on the Ferguson Unit. And like I always say, I met a lot of guys. Some I was good with, some I wasn't. However, we all did time in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. But before we get started, let me give you a little bit about me. Did 25 years flat in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and 10 of that was did on the Ferguson Unit. Without further ado, let's tap in with Mr. Pookie, please. What's good, Pookie?
What's going on? What's going on, Big Hollywood?
Oh, man, long time no see, man. Good to see you in the house, man. I ain't mean for it to take this long, but, you know, some things in life take longer than others, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, do me a favor, man. Go ahead and tell the viewers where you're from, what led to the prison, and what year you went to prison.
Okay, I'm from Galveston, Texas. I got incarcerated for just being a flat-out asshole. I got a 10-year sentence and did it day for day. The majority of my time came from on Ferguson, and what led to my time was basically roughly a ag robbery going wrong. You know, basically drug deal gone bad. But that's roughly what I went down for.
So let me ask you this, man. So, how old were you when you got incarcerated?
17.
At 17 years old, you got incarcerated, right? So, what year did you land? What year did you land at the back gate of the Ferguson Unit?
I want to say 2019. 2019. Yeah.
2019, you arrived at the Ferguson Unit, right?
Yes, sir.
What was it like for you entering the back gate of the Ferguson Unit? If you can remember, what were some of the things in the surroundings that you saw, and most of all, what was going through your head?
Well, you know, going through the transfer facilities, you know, you kind of get prepped. Once you find out where you're going, you kind of get prepped as far as what to expect. So, you know, a lot of guys was telling me, oh, you going to Ferguson, man, you know, they're over there body rocket. And I'm like, what that mean? You know, I'm new to the system. I'm youngster. I'm like, what that mean? He's like, oh, they doing a lot of fighting over there. So I'm like, oh, okay. At the time, my mind frame was so messed up. That's all I wanted to do was fight. So I felt like that was right up my alley when they sent me over there. So once I did land there and make it there, it was all aggression, you know, all aggression. And I dished out aggression, I received aggression. And, you know, it just kind of blended in and it just kind of blended in, you know.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about the gang, you know, the gang activity, right?
Okay.
When you arrived at the Ferguson Unit, what was the gang activity like?
Okay. Coming out the gate, you know, I affiliate with the Bloods or whatever. But coming to the unit, it was few. So I'm gonna say this. Some of the things that I had to go through is because, you know, others wasn't in there claiming where they was from or ripping where they was from, you know. But like I said, I had that mentality, hey, it is what it is. I already felt like I was gonna do my whole sentence, so I wanted to do it the way I wanted to do it. So I, like they say, they body rocking over here, I'm body rocking for my sentence, and that's basically what it was. So when I made it there, nobody is greeted like as a friend. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care if you know that person from the world or what, but they want to see where your heart at first. You know, when you first get there. So when I made it there, it was kind of quiet until I had my first altercation. After that, it was like smooth sailing. They seen I was with it, you know, and it was like smooth sailing.
So let me ask this. So, uh, not to bring up, the physical altercation you had, man, but it's important that, the viewers see your growth throughout your prison, your sentence, right? So let's talk about that first altercation you had with whom you ever had it with, right?
Okay.
And if you can remember the reason why you had that altercation.
Uh, okay, like I say, when I landed on Ferguson, I didn't go to a I didn't go to medium custody or population. They sent me straight to close custody because my record followed me from the county, and you know I had a disruptive record or whatever. So they sent me to close custody. So like I say, I had been pre-prepped on what to expect. So I went with full intentions on going ahead and getting everything understood out the way. So when I came on the dorm, I was already singing the blood song at the top of my lungs. Like you said, beginning used to be hollering and screaming, don't talk
Yeah.
to me now. But yeah, I come on a block, you know, basically screaming out a blood song or whatever, just to let them know, hey, it is what it is, man. Let's get this out the way. So my first altercation basically came from the Bloods wanting to know where my heart was at, you know, heart check quota, what they call it. So I don't know if you want me to go into detail.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your story, man.
Okay, but you know, we hit the rec yard and I'm taking in the scenery. And the guy come tap me on my shoulder. He said, hey, somebody wants you behind the wall over there. I said, behind the wall. So I walked over there, big dude bouncing behind the wall, toilet paper in his mouth, shirt off. So, I'm like, oh, okay. So I go back at there and did what I had to do, And after that altercation right there, like I said, it was like, as far as with the Bloods, it was basically all love. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh yeah, big boy gonna rumble, big boy gonna, you know. And basically that's all it's about. They want to know if you're gonna be able to hold your own, you're not gonna just fold up. But I don't come from that. I don't come from that. Nothing that's gonna fold.
So let me ask this. So uh let's get into after the altercation, which I'm assuming was the first day or whatever.
Uh,
How did the rest of the week go?
from my understanding, they had just came up off a lockdown, so everybody was really trying to, go along with the rules or whatever, so they can get some playtime outside, some handball, basketball, and the weight bench. But it was crazy for me because on my third day there, you know how the Mexicans was.
Yeah.
They killed the Mexicans on my third day there. And for me to see it, it was like, wow, like this really happening right here. It's going down right now. It was kind of mind-boggling, but after a while, you had to grow to expect stuff like that to happen.
So let me ask you this. So man, after you seen the killing and you put that to the side and you continue to do your time, right?
Yes,
As we all know, you already told me and the viewer that you discharged a 10-year sentence, right?
yes, sir.
from that day forward, how did Big Pookie handle himself from a mental standpoint?
Well, I knew for one, I had to protect myself at all times. You never know what happened because, you know, stuff can spill from something somebody else got going on and spill over there the way you at. You know, so I kind of kept myself in a position to where I knew what was going on and had an understanding. Basically, had an understanding. Like if I had to understand this point of view and this point of view,
Yeah.
you know. But it was basically staying out the way and just basically paying attention. You know, basically not necessarily like being non-communicative. You know what I'm saying? But just basically just staying out the way.
So let me ask this, man. So we get through the first week, right?
Uh,
At what point did you realize it was time for you to come up off of close custody?
well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did my first 4 years on close custody, and I was fine. I was fine with that. But after a while, you know, you start to think too much. You start to it just so much just run through your mind. You know, just sitting in that cell 23 hours a day. You know, you done read every book the library had to offer. You know, it just get boring, and you want to get out and do something different, see something different, get you a different view. You know, so by that, for my 4th year, they was already telling me all you gotta do is do right.
Yeah.
Go to whole squad, uh, go to school, whatever you gotta do, all you got, and we're gonna let you up. As soon as I start complying, they brought me up to medium custody. And I was loving that because it was so much different than close custody. Close custody, you're doing the same thing every day.
I noticed you said in your 4 years when you was on close custody, you have to turn out for the fields, right?
Uh,
What was that like for you, going to the fields for 4 years straight?
at first, I was on some lazy time at first. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to comply. But when I started thinking about it, health-wise, going to the fields actually get me in shape. And I started seeing it. I started seeing a little rip and a little fatigue. And, you know, for me to be a big guy, I was like, okay, I started really enjoying it. I was like, okay, you know, but it was a struggle. It was a hassle. It was a hassle until I found school and uh the welding programs and all that. Yeah.
So let me ask this, man. So uh going to medium custody, right? What did you see was the big difference between close custody and medium custody with the inmates?
Okay. On close custody, more or less, you had the cell warriors. You know, the people that's going blah 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 over the run all day, blah 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 over the run all day. Okay, medium custody. See, medium custody, you had to be about that action. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no riffraff on medium custody. You know how I go, count time, let's get it. Man, you need to be the first one at the door if we got a problem, you know. And that's just how it was. And I stayed at the back of that I stayed in the back so much. I had dudes start telling me, say, man, look, we ain't doing no more fighting. We ain't doing no more fighting, but medium custody, you had to come on with it. If you wasn't about that, somebody gonna make you sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
If you was all talk, yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask this. So, and I know prison go through like stages as far as closed custody, medium custody, minimum custody, right?
Yes, sir.
At what time and point did you move up the hallway to minimum custody?
basically after I got my status as being affiliated to the point to where I had to come up to the highway to be able to let my little homies still in close custody and meet them custody say, look, it's a better way. Like, man, we can get up this highway and we got way better access. But by me staying on meet them custody, they following my lead and don't want to go nowhere. It was guys that are actually, they'll come up for a line class or they getting ready to go up the highway. They'll catch a case so they won't have to go because they know I'm going to keep order around me. It's going to be some order.
Yeah.
So they feel like they branch out and go somewhere else. Oh, this dude going to let him get away with this or he ain't going to be able to get away with that. You know what I'm saying? The guys that I affiliated with, they just loved order. So I feel like I needed to get up the highway, you know, just to show them something different. For one, I knew I could do it all along. I just didn't want to.
Finally made it up the hallway, right? Let's talk about some of the things that changed for you from a mental standpoint, and some of the things you thought about that you was gonna do when you got free. Let's talk about that.
I got you. Look, let me touch on this right quick because it keep catching my attention. What do the logo stand for?
Well, the logo stands for some. This is what this stands for, man, and it's something that carried us all through prison. Because you got to remember, we didn't have no money. Only money that we got is from the money that we hustled with, right? Right. But this stands for character over everything, right? And being in prison, that's all we had was our character. You was known by your character, right? Okay. Same way with you. When you just stated, you kept order around you, right? When you were there. So that was your character. That was your stamp. People know that they couldn't come around Big Pookie, you know, on that blah, blah, blah. So that's what the hat stands for. It stands for character over everything.
Character over everything. You got merch?
Yeah, merch coming soon, man. Merch coming soon, man.
Okay. You say once I got up to population, what was that?
I said once you went to minimum custody, right?
Okay.
What was some of the things that you changed about you to start preparing yourself from a mental standpoint to get free? What were some of the things that you thought about that you had to put in order for you to get free, even though you discharged, but to stay free?
Oh, my temper. That old temper used to get me all the time. But see, what I've noticed, if I let somebody press my buttons, that means they're controlling me. And I was letting dudes do it all the time. That's why I stayed in so many fights. I got into them fights behind the TV, them basketball games, them football games, and all it took was somebody to throw something in there. Here come Figaro catching. You know what I'm saying? I realized the older cat, Big Papa set me down. He said, man, so, okay, you got that boy back there looking like he looking. What was your purpose for doing that? I said, man, the nigga, you know what I'm saying? He need to respect something and this and that and that and the other. So Papa was like, your temper. He said, man, your conversation, flawless. Your mind frame, flawless. But when it come to your temper, man, you get your temper together, man, say, when you go home, man, you're going to see the difference. Because can't nobody just come and do you like this here and set you off. Or throw up a sign and set you off. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I learned a lot from a lot of older cats there. You mainly one. Pop, I can go on and on. But just from watching y'all, man, how y'all maintained and Rob, y'all was on, I guess y'all hadn't been through the rowdy mode by the time I made it there because Y'all was more or less, man, y'all need to chill up. Come on, man, what's going? You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't want the rugged stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? The cutthroat stuff going on, and you know, it was a lot of it going on up there.
You know, because like I said, you know, I mean, every time that I would see you, it was always on the end of you smashing somebody, just like you mentioned. You know, and you stood for what you represented, and I can say that for a fact because it wasn't something that I heard. It's something that I seen on a daily basis. You know, even when the numbers were stacked against you, you still stood for it. You know, and I can say that because I was there and I saw you there. But let me ask you this, man. The day you discharged and the day you were set free, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
But that was the happiest time of my life ever. When I discharged, first of all, my mama not here anymore, and you know what I'm saying, but she was there when I had when I walked out them gates, and the first thing I heard was her scream. So you know, and the funny part about it, I had 3 other co-defendants on my case when I went down, right?
Yeah.
We all got the same sentence, came home on the same day. I didn't even recognize these cats when we walked out the gate. But I had one that actually like gave us up, told everything, gave the whole scoop of the reason why we was incarcerated. This man asked me for a ride home. Now my temple told me right then, man, get that nigga. Get it.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, look, we just did all this time together. That's over with. I'm gonna need you to go your way, I'm gonna go my way, man. I got a whole nother plan going for me. I don't know what you got going for yourself, but I got a whole nother game plan. So, you know, basically, when I came home, that was the happiest time of my life. Whole family was together. Everybody, you know, pitching in to bring me, you know, 10 years, that's a long time. So you miss out on a lot of technology and stuff. But when I came home, I didn't know how to work a cell phone. It was a beautiful thing. It really was.
So let me ask you this, Pookie, man. Being in prison for those 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
And you already realized and you recognize that you had to work on your attitude, right? And once you got that straight, you feel like everything was gonna be in your favor, right?
Yes, sir.
So uh let's be honest. Since you've been here and free, let's talk about some of the struggles you had.
Oh, it's been quite a few. Like, okay, when I first came home about a year or so, I had basically my mom relocated from Galveston to Tech City. So I was kind of familiar with Tech City, but not really. And it was like, oh, the you know how a new person come around, everybody trying to figure you out.
Yeah.
So it was a slow takeoff for me because I had to pay attention and see what was going on out here before I just stepped off the porch. You know what I'm saying? I had to really, because you know there's a lot going on down this way. It's a lot going on, and you don't know who was who, and you don't know who to trust. So basically, you know, it's family. You know, sticking close to family. But it was a transition for me moving out of my hometown down here to Tech City, even though it ain't nothing but like 10, 15 minutes away. But the struggles that I had, oh, one of my top struggles that I had that really, really kind of discouraged me a little bit. You know, we had the welding trades and the cabinet making trades, the carpentry trades, when we had all them trades down in the system. Okay, I took a lot of those trades and brought them home with me. And I'm thinking, like they tell you down there, you can go to a job and show them, hey, these are my credentials.
Yeah.
That wasn't true at all. I went to a job site and did one of the baddest welds you can do, an overhead V groove. They give me the job, found out I had just came home, terminated me the next day. That was like a gut punch because I came home on the right note and with the right finances, I would have been unstoppable. So I kind of fell back into the street life a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And that brought me to a situation to where that little time that I just went and done, they was trying to quadruple that. I accidentally ran a officer over, trying to get away from him.
Yeah.
And they was trying to give me an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a public servant. You know how that go.
Yeah.
They was trying to hire me. By the grace of God, I'm telling you, I got a lawyer that found some flaws in the case, and they offered me a year state jail. I went and did that year, and ever since then, I've been like this here. I got 5 little ones now, so that's my go-to. Like when I feel like drifting, just doing something I ain't supposed to do, I go kick it with my little boys or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got them right now. I just left them at the house. But yeah,
So,
I almost went back with a bigger bid than I had left with.
let me ask this, man, because like I said, I know you then, and I knew your attitude you had, and I know the things you was going through versus what you're going through now. You just explained to me in the viewer that you almost went back for running over a public servant, right?
Yes, sir.
And I know when we going through our transition, we don't fear a lot, right?
Yeah.
But at this moment in your life, what do you fear the most?
Setting a bad example for my children, for my sons. My main thing is I don't want them doing that and already done that. You know, I want them to do something totally different. That's one of my main fears is my kids picking up where I left off at as far as the street life. You know, that's one of my worst fears, you know. But other than that, you know, health, health, health been a fear factor for me. I've had a few health issues since I've been on that I'm working on, and I actually have weight loss surgery coming up on the 29th. So it might not be a big Figaro no more, or a big Pookie no more. It might be Lil Pook.
Whatever, man. Whatever it take, man, to add longevity to your life, and most of all, whatever you feel comfortable with, man. That's all that matters, man.
Yes. And that's all I'm focused on. Being content. Being content. You know, we used to want to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm content with getting by. And my daddy told me that a long time ago. He say, son, I'm content with getting by. And I'm content with getting by now. For real.
So let me ask this, man. So, and you can answer this the way you see fit, because what I'm about to ask you, people answer it in different ways, right?
Okay.
What does freedom stand for Big Pookie?
What does freedom stand for?
For you, what does that mean to you?
Okay. Freedom, just being honest.
Yeah.
Freedom to me means we're going to give you enough rope to hang yourself. Basically. Hey, you can get out here and do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be in life. But say, if you want to go that other route, we got somewhere for you. So freedom is everything to me. I mean, like I say, health-wise, you don't want to go to jail dealing with no health issues, you know, and the kid issues, you know, that's all that's over with. You can't, the relationships that I have with my children, you can't have that without freedom. You can't have that. And I wake up just to see what they got going, to see where they head and pick at them, you know. It's just the light of my day. But freedom, like I say, it's just enough rope for you to do whatever it is you want to do in life. Just make sure when they go to pulling on it, they don't come up with nothing, you know.
So let me ask this, man, and I'll let you get back to those 5 sons you got, man, because I know they missed the old man.
You know, 3
Man,
girls, 2 boys.
3 girls, 2 boys, 5 kids, my bad.
Yes.
And notice what I said, they missed the old man, because when I met you, you was young. You ain't young no more. So let me ask you this, man. So if you can give any advice for any one person, man, that had even a smidget of an attitude like you had and was going down the same road that you was, you know, that you went down, not that you was going down because you did a 10 on 10, right? What would your advice be to that one person, man, in order to try to stop him or her from getting caught up in the system?
It's not all it cracked up to be. Everybody think, you know, well, a lot of guys coming up thinking they not official until they done went down and got a number or did a bid. It's not worth it, man. The new ball game, the new ball game is getting legit because can't nobody take that from you. You know what I'm saying? You come out here and you work for it, no matter what's going on, no matter what happened, can't nobody take that from you. But you get out here in these streets thinking you're gonna become a millionaire, that's folklore. All that's past tense. That's over with. Ain't nobody making no money out here in these streets like that no more. Get it legit, man. Get it legal. Own you something. Own you something. Be able to call something yours. That's my advice to anybody, man, that's thinking about going the route that I went. It's not working.
So last but not least, man, you know, you already watched the show, man. You know how I do it at the end, man. Because like I said, it's a people's channel. Without you all, I wouldn't be nothing, man. As far as this show is concerned, uh, always allow the person I'm interviewing to close the show on their note, man. To shout out to whoever that was involved in your life, being any of the guys that you did time with, that you're still in touch with. I allow you to shout out to those guys right now, man, and you know, acknowledge them for whatever part they played in your life, man.
Okay. I got a list, but I'm gonna narrow it down. Big Papa, Big Papa pulled me along through a lot and showed me a lot, taught me a lot, conversation wise. My conversation was so messed up. My conversation was all game related. The man actually had to teach me how to talk again. Took me back to preschool. You know, Beezy, Rob, just watching, you know, everybody prosper, you know, grow and mature. And it was a sight to see. You know, it's I can go on and on, Barlow naming names of people who actually set me down and took the time out to say, hey, it's a better way, man. It's a better way. You know, they say when you go to jail, you learn a lot of bad stuff. I had people trying to teach me about CDLs and going into business and just different things. And I commend those dudes for that because it has helped me a lot out here. It's helped me. And I commend all you fellas, man. I commend all you fellas. I got mad love for y'all, man. And it'd be good to see y'all when I do.
So let me ask this, man. So coming to the Ferguson Chronicle, man, telling your story, man, how important was that for you?
it was very important because, like I say, we went through a lot. We went through a lot down there. It wasn't just a cakewalk. You know, we actually went through a struggle down there. We went through some things that wasn't normal, you know, from the rides and you name it. The stuff these boys see on TV, we lived that. We went through that. We made it through that, you know. But that's basically what it was. Just being able to say I went through something and I survived it, you know. I survived it.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. You know, it's about being able to live another day to tell another story.
Yes.
You know, it was once upon a time, man, we all thought we was bulletproof until the bullets got bigger and people kept dying and they still dying. But with that being said, man, Big Pookie, man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. Once again, I apologize, man, for taking so long to catch up with you, man. But you know how we're not in the prison day room, but we're in the biggest day room of all.
Yeah.
And that's society, man. And you know, things happen, man. But you know, last but not least, man, much love, much respect, man. And keep your head up, man. And I'll be down that way soon, man. Hopefully we can hook up, man. And you know, and hopefully you done had the surgery for then so we can eat something, right? You know what I'm saying? But keep your head up, man, and stay free, man. I know you're gonna do that because you've been free for quite some time, man. Get that health in check, man, because we need people around like you, man. You know, because in today's time, like I said, man, guys can continue to fall, man. You know, as the bullets get bigger, the guys get smaller. You know what I'm saying? So until next time, man, salute Big Pookie and much love, homie.
Ready.
Once again, real life story, real life people with nothing is ever scripted at the Ferguson Chronicles. Once again, COET, character over everything. Without that, we're lost. So for anybody that's watching this video, please continue to work on your character and be a better person than you were the day before. Until next time, salute.